With The Strangers Chapter 1 now available to stream for the low price of $20, or if you want to buy the film, $24.99, I'm going to answer the burning question: is it worth paying your hard earned money to watch the film? Well, in order to do that, let's compare the original and Chapter 1. The opening to the original film starts off with narration, which I love when films do this, especially horror films, because it reminds me of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is one of my favorite films of all time. You get these kids that happen to stumble across a situation that has happened. We see the aftermath, the carnage of what's to come throughout the film. It's a very eerie opening and sets the tone of the film going forward. Chapter 1 does something a little different with its opening. You can kind of tell that it is a bigger Hollywood film than the original. You get these, wide shots. It's in the forest. We get an opening kill scene, which typically I'd be like, hell yeah, but The Strangers really is about building tension and suspense. I didn't need an opening kill. So for me, it doesn't really reach the level of tension that the original does, but it's an okay opening. Let's talk about the couples in the film. In the original, after a failed marriage proposal, the couple, they're at a very awkward stage in their relationship. They love each other, but they feel very distant. It's just weird. It's very sad, actually, to watch, because you just feel that something is off between them. And this whole situation, as tragic as it is, it unfortunately brings them closer together than ever before. And it's actually kind of beautiful in that regard, but it's very subtle. Especially with the ending, which we'll get to later. The couple in Chapter 1 is the polar opposite of the couple in the original film. I don't mind that, but there is like no depth at all, in my opinion here. Everything that I enjoyed about the couple in the original is just gone, and subtlety is out the window whenever he proposes to her when they're about to die. The way that things happen in the original, at the end, I much prefer. The plot remains the same, relatively the same, in both films, outside of a few modern flares that Chapter 1 adds, to the story, such as the couple staying at an Airbnb, which I think, makes sense in this day and age, but did it really add anything significant to the film? Probably not. The scenes with the stranger asking if Tamara's home is present in both films. That's kind of a staple to the Stranger's films. And then we have the introduction to the Sackhead Man. That's what I'm calling him. In the original film, you have the main actress smoking in the kitchen after, things are just freaking her out. She's smoking, and there he is. He appears out of the shadows. It's a wide shot, no music, nothing. It is genuinely creepy, in my opinion. In Chapter 1, if we're excluding the opening, because I do think that was the Sackhead Stranger killing the man at the beginning with an axe, his first technical appearance would be in the rocking chair. The actress is playing the piano. She looks back, the chair is completely empty, and very oddly edited, because maybe like 10 seconds pass and he's there. I don't know how she didn't hear him. Maybe they should have added a few more shots of her playing, let the film breathe a little bit, but yeah, he just appears in the chair. Not very frightening, in my opinion. Both movies have a scene where the lead actor accidentally kills an innocent person. Now, in the original, it turns out to be his best friend that he shoots with a shotgun, which I could only imagine the levels of emotion, he was feeling after that. The strangers go on to write in blood on the window, "Murderer," mocking him even further. The psychological torture that couple goes through, to me, just blows my mind. The strangers in that film are just sick. In Chapter 1, you have the lead actor. He has a shotgun. He turns the corner and accidentally kills the owner of the Airbnb. Now, as stupid as that is, the owner of the Airbnb should not have been trying to get into the house. It was literally fucking axed. The door was axed. You could hear the keys jingling. He was trying to unlock the door. What the fuck? Both films have a scene where the lead actor is about to shoot the doll-faced stranger, and oh yeah, this is my favorite one. In the original, he's kind of prone, he's playing it very stealthily. The doll-faced stranger kind of shines the light at him as he's about to shoot her, and he hears rustling behind him. He quickly turns, and it's too late. The sackhead man knocks him out. Now, in chapter 1, the main character, the lead actor, has a shotgun point blank to the doll-faced stranger and proceeds to talk for well over a minute. And he gets fucked up by the sackhead man. This was the part in the film at the theater that I genuinely was like, I can't do this. I checked out of the film. I looked at my girlfriend. I said, this is really bad. Because if you're going to write this scene, kill the doll-faced stranger. There is no other way that this scene ends. And I was baffled that it ended with him losing when he had a gun on her for over a minute. I know it doesn't sound like a long time, but in the theater, it was grueling. It was a long time. He could have killed her, new stranger in the next movie, or someone could have took on the persona of the doll-faced stranger. I don't care. You kill her. 3-on-1 is really bad odds. 2-on-1 is a little bit better. And I assure you that the other strangers know where your wife is at. Well, not even wife, where your girlfriend is at. That pissed me off. Yeah, horrible writing on that. Poor execution. That is one of the worst parts of the movie, in my opinion. Let's talk about the ending of both films. In the original, the strangers have tormented them until the point that it's now daylight, and now they're ready to finally kill the main characters. And they're asking, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? And we get that classic line, because you were home, which I think is such a good line. And unfortunately, it does not end well for them, as the strangers slowly and sadistically stab our main characters to death. With the ending in chapter 1 playing out pretty similarly to the ending in the original, with a few key differences. The couple, they're happy throughout, the entire film, and the boyfriend asks the girlfriend, will you marry me? And as they're crying, she says yes, and they find happiness, even though they've, been happy since the start of the film. So, the subtlety between the couple in this film and the couple in the original are just night and day difference. And they proceed to get killed by the strangers. And there is virtually no gore. Really odd to call it the most brutal, home invasion of all time. I know they say the same thing in the original, but at least there was some gore in that film. This one, no, it did not do it for me. Honestly, you could probably even have told me it was a PG-13 film, and I would have been like, oh yeah, I can see that. Is The Strangers Chapter 1 worth your time and hard-earned money? In my personal opinion, it's not. If you've watched the original film, you've watched a better version of Chapter 1, in my opinion. Hell, even Pray at Night did things better than this film did. Now, I do hope that the trilogy gets better. There is a lot of potential to kind of do their own story, and I wish they would have done and took more liberties in Chapter 1 and not played it so safe, because it feels like a watered-down version of the original. And I can't tell you, yeah, go pay $20 to watch it, or $24 to own it. I went and saw it in the theaters with my girlfriend, $12, $14, and we were very, very disappointed. So, in my opinion, no, it's not worth your time. But that's just me. If you've watched the film, let me know what you think of it down below in the comments.